From now on, people will call me blessed because of the wonderful things the mighty God has done for me. Magnificat. Alleluia. My soul magnifies the Holy One. Magnificat, Alleluia. My soul magnifies our God. Magnificat, Alleluia. God's name is holy from one generation to the next. The mercy of our God is sure. Magnificat, Alleluia. My soul magnifies the Holy One. Magnificat, Alleluia. My soul magnifies our God. Magnificat, Alleluia. Power is disclosed by the great deeds of God's arm. The holy has scattered the proud of heart and mind. Monarchs have been pulled from their thrones, but the humble God has lifted high. My soul magnifies the Holy One. Magnificat, Alleluia. My soul magnifies our God. Magnificat, Alleluia. The hungry are filled with good things, but the rich are sent away empty. Magnificat, Alleluia. 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 My soul magnifies the Holy One. Magnificat, Alleluia. My soul magnifies our God. Magnificat, Alleluia. My soul magnifies the Holy One. Magnificat, Alleluia. My soul magnifies our God. Magnificat, Alleluia. Loss was one of the commonly shared human experiences of this year. We lost so much that we were expecting to COVID-19. We lost normal life. We lost our predisposition to expect what tomorrow will bring. And we lost our dreams for this year as we imagined them previously. We also lost a number of loved ones that we know and ones that we don't know, to this tragic virus. Our family experienced this loss on a very personal level. We lost our great-grandma who was dearly beloved, Thelma Hopkins. She was 103. Grieving her passing was a very tender experience that is still very much happening to this day. We also lost my Uncle Terry, Dad's brother-in-law, and we also lost our great Uncle David on Mom's side. And most recently, only a couple of weeks ago, we found out that my first piano teacher, who became a very dear friend for many years, Lori Schwalm, died just last week. These losses create gaping holes in our hearts. They create a season of tenderness and deep grief. From the levels of deep personal encounters with people who are lost to levels of plans and expectations and daily social life. This loss tears us from the realms of expected day into a very shadowy night. The sensation is that we feel trapped and are out of control. It is all we can do to say, "Oh, great healer, hold us." In the midst of the raging COVID crisis, we experience the unraveling of another epidemic in this country, one that has been around for a much longer time and is brimming with evil and injustice. It is the scourge of racism and white supremacy that have been interlocked in the DNA of this country ever since it was founded. The brutal murders of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Jonathan Price, and Casey Goodson, and so many other unnamed souls shed a revealing light on the willful ignorance of white people who refuse to listen. The journey ahead must dismantle white supremacy, white privilege, and ignorance. The work ahead starts with sitting in the dark this long, dark night and listening to the stories we have continually turned away from. Only then will there come a day of rising up as brothers and sisters and walking a new way together. Black lives matter.
wind ceased, and there was a dead calm. Be still in the center of your soul. Jesus calls us to stillness and to faith. Find the stillness in the eye of the storm. In the eye of the storm, Jesus died. Find the stillness in the eye of the storm. In the eye of the storm. In the eye of the storm, Jesus died.
Too soon, I cried. I'm not ready. I'm still holding on. I have been fed, nourished, and able to grow by these grace catchers that hang on my bough. It is time, you said. I see your bright raiment. I gave you these grace catchers, gifts for a season. You are beautiful. You are beloved. I will not leave you, but it is time. Time to release, time to let go. You cannot bear the weight of winter if you hold on. Let go, my beloved. Let go. Let go what seems familiar. Let go what seems safe. Your cloak has become a burden. It serves you no longer. Let go, my beloved. Let go. It is time to go deep. Time to find your life, not on the outside, but on the inside. It is time to be strengthened, to dig deep, to trust the ground that holds you. I will not let you go. You may feel naked. You will feel vulnerable. I might seem far away for a season, but I am not gone. I am always with you. Go deep. You will find me there, under your feet, buried neath the snows, deep below ground, the wellspring of life, waiting for you. Come, find your joy in me. And when the time is right, new grace catchers will come to capture the light, to feed your soul, to flash forth in flame like fire, to draw thee awake, to shed their shoes, to learn my name.
Stretched out into the unknown, we walk our way alone. Day distance out of necessity, with connection only by screen it seems. Stretched out into the unknown, we are called to listen. Our souls are longing to speak to us. There is much noise that knocks our inner voice. Holy One, bless this time and space. Draw us into nearness despite our distance. Humble Spirit, teach us to listen deep inside to the love longings of our souls. Stretched out into the unknown, this is a lonely time. Silence fills our long days of solitude. We journey into our souls that long for you. Holy One, bless this time and space. Draw us into nearness despite our distance. Humble Spirit, teach us to listen deep inside to the love longings of our souls. Remind us now that all shall be well, shall be well, shall be well, shall be well, shall be all shall be well, shall be well, shall be well, shall be all shall be well, all shall be well, all shall be well, shall be all shall be well, shall be well, shall be all shall be all shall be well, shall be well, shall be well, all shall be well, all shall be well. Holy One, bless this time and space.
Over time, as the pandemic progressed and as the journey of experiencing what life was like in a COVID world began to unravel itself, I started to learn a lot more about myself. And I started listening much more deeply inside to what my heart and soul were saying. And one of the places that was most powerful for listening was by the river. Because when I was by the river, I feel connected to something so much larger than myself. I feel as if I'm in a place of flow, of movement, where the wind blows and the current is always moving and always singing. It is a place of gathering for birds and for ducks and geese and fish and deer, all coming together to find water. And so in many ways this year it occurs to me as a year of looking for water, longing for water. What is it, asking ourselves, what is it that we really need? So the journey, more than anything, seems to me is a journey of listening, going to the places where you can hear something. And for me, that place is the river.
When the pandemic began, I experienced a great deal of anxiety. I felt it all through my body. And I came to realize that it wasn't just fear about the coronavirus. It was old fear. It was fear that I had been carrying within me for a long time. And so I listened to some wisdom offered to me by my sister, and began going to the woods. I got up early every morning and went to our local metro park and hiked with our dog Otto, walking the trails. And I found benches where I would sit and just be quiet and feel the spirit moving within me and begin to in a very mystical way, heal some of those broken places inside me. And I began to release some of the fear I was holding. Some of my most profound moments at Wildwood came by water, sitting beside the creek, listening to the water run, and watching the sunlight dance on the water. One day I was sitting in meditation, and a song came into my head, and I was amused because it was a song from the movie Frozen 2, a movie that I watched actually at some point during lockdown and loved. I loved the story and I loved the music, and this song just spoke to me, and it came to me in meditation, and it said to me, this is the story of this year for you. This is the journey that you're on, a journey of healing and a journey of transformation to find out who you are and who you are becoming. So I'm going to sing this song for us now. It's a song called All Is Found. Where the north wind meets the sea, there's a river full of memory. Sleep, my darling, safe and sound, for in this river all is found.
Well, 2020 is finally coming to a close. I'm sure that we all have a laundry list of gripes with this year. It certainly wasn't the most fun. In fact, I would say that this year was almost comically bad, starting out with Australia's wildfires, continuing into a stubborn global pandemic, and ending with an election cycle that could only be described as fascinatingly awful. Though this reading isn't to dwell on what has been dominating the conversation ever since this seagull of a year began, I'll be taking a moment to list off some of the more positive things that occurred that you may have not seen catch the attention of the national news cycle. To start off, over 130,000 people signed a petition to rename Columbus, Ohio to Flavortown. I'm personally completely on board with this decision. Dr. Fauci came out saying that Santa Claus is immune to COVID-19. This is good news for the one non-internet literate 9-year-old existing in the United States. The time outside of movie theaters allowed for the drive-in industry to survive, as many places around the U.S. showed major movies that were slated to come out during shutdown. We launched our first U.S.-made rocket to the International Space Station this year, breaking a trend of utilizing Russian-made technology. While as of this recording we are still locked down at home, it's important to remember that our current situation is temporary. Before we head back to the world of white noise and everyday worries, it's important to remember one of the key lessons sourced from this whole experience. Just to slow down. It's not often that we all get the chance to take the blinders off and to broaden our view of what's really going on. While this year was truly unforgettable, let's not allow another global disaster to dictate when we pump the brakes on the more superficial side of life.
and lead